We can see that stuttering has been and still is a very stigmatized disorder publicly.
We know that stigma exists, but we also know that people's responses to stammering will vary.
So there's a lot of stereotypes about people who stutter out there, including people thinking that you're nervous or anxious, maybe more timid, less confident.
These negative attitudes are communicated to us in myriad subtle and not so subtle ways, but one way or another, society is saying, don't do that thing.
There was a lot I wanted to say to my ex-girlfriend, and Nisar, get over your relationship and all that, but there was a lot I wanted to say, and I could have said it. But there was, however long I'd been with her for, and she of course knew I stammered. It was something I disclosed. I was still scared within myself, scared of just being judged, scared of sounding unmacho.
Language is critical, not only in what we say, but what people hear we say. It's critical, therefore, in shaping opinion, and opinion shapes behaviour, and behaviour shapes culture.
As people who stammer, we've been almost conditioned into thinking we can't be good speakers.
Did you know people who stammer have real strengths? Did you know you've got 1% of people in your organisation who are almost certainly hiding? Did you know some of them probably amongst your most talented people?
So what we are talking about when we talk about stammering pride is having a possession, which is stammering, that we are proud of because of it, because of the abilities, skills, attributes, things like empathy, listening skills.
Having a stammer can make us more attuned to what people want to hear and help us to form concise and meaningful sentences and add a sincerity to our voice.
We need to keep in mind the environmental factors. Now, what does this mean? It means, for example, people's attitudes. So the environment in which the person who stutters operates in. So if they're reacted to negatively, that would be considered an environmental barrier to that person's activity. The public stigma can affect personal well-being. It can affect psychological well-being. It can affect mental health and quality of life.
When we talk about stammering, how you feel about stammering, often feelings of fear, embarrassment, shame, anxiety, these feelings come up again and again.
When I was younger, I felt really scared when I stammered because I would block my airflow would stop because I blocked in my larynx. I honestly felt like I might die.
I had an audition for a house play, and I was told by the master running that play I couldn't have a part in that play. I was probably 16 at the time because of the risk that I might stammer. Secondly, when I was 18, I applied for a place on the Army Scholarship Scheme, had my initial interview with the recruiting officer at school, fed back through my housemaster, my application couldn't go forward any further. And for me, I think I'm going to suggest that those two things were more definitive than getting a university degree in terms of determining where my career was going to go.
It's time for us to work together, stammerers, the BSA, and speech therapists who are allies, to design a different model for delivering high-quality, evidence-based, effective liberating speech therapy around the country.
It's okay to stammer and it's okay not to stammer. So underlying the idea that stammering is not the issue, but the way we respond to it is, and that our responses have been influenced by society's non-accepting stance of anything that is different from the so-called norm.
It's a really exciting time for stammering and stammering therapy. I think it is a time where, for speech and language therapists, there is a real opportunity to move beyond the narrow boundaries of stammering therapy or the traditional speech and language therapy that's been offered.
There is a lot of research out there which is dominated by the medical model. Often the key outcome measure is on the reduction in percentage of syllables stammered. Excitingly, this is starting to be questioned. Fantastic.
A key future vision is much more celebration of difference and looking at the unique experience and beautiful experience of stammering.
Here we need action at local, national, and transnational levels. Everybody, advocates and professionals and people who stutter have a role to play, and they can make change and reduce those environmental barriers and change them to more participation facilitators and improve those environmental aspects to hopefully improve the communicative participation of people who stutter.